Good afternoon, guys. Once again, welcome to South Africa Lately, a channel that discusses South African trending news. We do, however, grab here and there from international news when it is trending enough to be brought here. Before we proceed, please do understand that I'm not a politician. I do not have deep knowledge in politics. However, I am a South African citizen who is also a voter, and I do believe that my views count when it comes to political affairs of this beautiful country. Now, being a voter is far more important than politicians. Our votes are more important than politicians. We are South Africans first before we can think of any other political party. So, okay, with that said, it pains me so deeply to criticize the ANC because this is my political party, but I need them to understand how unhappy some of us are. And we desire to see an ANC that is serious about taking the corrective measures. And those corrective measures are going to be seen on service delivery, how this country improves in the next 4 years. And as far as the local government elections are concerned, they don't have enough time to prove anything. They need to be working like the elections were today or tomorrow morning. Now, taking us back to what brought me here, it is very important for me as this moment that the Western Cape remains in the hands of the Democratic Alliance. You can criticize me in the comment sections. I mean it, because at this, I'm not saying that there isn't any other political party that can run the Western Cape properly, but what I'm saying is, as things stand, we don't have any proof that those political parties can do better. Yet we do have proof that the ANC cannot do better. At this very moment, the ANC cannot do better because we have samples. We have samples that proves that the ANC cannot do better. What I need to see from the ANC, I need to see that Joburg CPT, that Gauteng province up on its feet before I can consider them for anything, before I can say, okay, maybe they can run Cape Town again, but the Western Cape again. But as things stand, even the president himself said that the municipalities that are running properly are the ones that are under the Democratic Alliance, and the Western Cape, as things stand, we all know that is the only province that seems to be getting things done. And sometimes you get people criticizing the Democratic Alliance with the informal settlement. And which province doesn't have informal settlement? And how is the situation there? So when we're looking at the ANC people criticizing the Democratic Alliance for the informal settlement that they have in Cape Town, I know that somebody, because I've been to Alex, I go to Alex now and then, I know what is happening there. I know what is happening in areas like Diepsloot. I know how the CBD has turned into slums to get, and many other areas. So you cannot come out here and be saying things that you're not supposed to say. And when we talk about service delivery, the ANC needs to not stop criticizing other people when it comes to service delivery, because they haven't gotten that one right. I see that the premier in Limpopo is trying. So it's still early days there. So we haven't seen much from that side. So before you say, I just want to show you something that will make you think that, why do I say that the ANC does not deserve to govern the Western Cape yet? I'm not saying permanently, I'm saying yet, because now the people from the Western Cape can say, no, we are not happy with certain things about the Democratic Alliance. Yeah, we are not happy everywhere in this country, but I still tell you now that Western Cape is a better province than all the other provinces in South Africa combined. But that is a thing of only one day, of that moment when you are celebrating with the ANC. And when you are done with that and you go home, the chances are you're going back to such a situation. Please let us think. Let us think. I need the ANC to correct itself.
This is the side of people they never show you. Imagine, look at this koala. Look at this. And then the majestic. Imagine.
And even when they decide that, you see, look, now we're going to look for a company that is going to be doing all this work, they go for such companies, because this is the news that came out allegedly. I don't know how true this is, but you know, anything is possible with the ANC, especially that Gauteng ANC. Company with no tax clearance scores 110 million rand tender to fix that Bridge Street. Guys, angeke. You cannot make this stuff up. So when you look at such things, what gives you? Is it the music of the day? Is it because the ANC was in your territory? Is it because the president was there that you can then now decide that, look, I am voting for the ANC? And I want to do something for you. I just want to show you the life of Bridge Street in Cape Town. I just want to show you the other side of Cape Town, the kind of Bridge Street that they have. Those are the images as you see there. Those are the images or coming from Cape Town, their Bridge Street. Look how clean. Look how clean that place is. Just look the life of that place. I know, maybe the environment that Bridge Street is in is different from the environment that the Bridge Street in Gauteng is. But if you know that the Bridge Street in Gauteng didn't happen to be like that overnight, it took day in and day out of neglect for it to finally to be like that. So when you look at such things, I still say, I am not saying I'm not saying there isn't any other party that can run the Western Cape properly. But what I'm saying is, at this moment, as things stand, we know that the DA is doing better than any other political party in any province, especially that ANC. That's one. Number two, the ANC needs to prove itself. This is still Cape Town, guys. This is still Cape Town, the Pre-Street. Look at the difference. Angeke. Debate uba niyathanda, but look at this. Just look at this. It's clean. Take race and put it aside. We know it's there. We know racism is there. We know a lot of stuff is there. But what I'm saying also, we're having it very hard as South African citizens. You have a choice. You go for a party that is said to be a party with racism and that does the job, like service delivery, and you stick with the ANC. That looks so nice when there's events, because it's not like they are nice to you when we go to these offices. We know how they treat us when we go to these offices. We do know. And then maybe because we find the comfort that they are black, so you're going to meet a black person. I don't know. It hasn't given me personally any comfort, because I know how we go there. Some people will be behaving like those are their houses. But what I'm trying to say is that look at the life, look at the difference between the Pre-Street in Gauteng and the Pre-Street that is in Cape Town. And people even get to play there and do whatever they want. And that thing, I think, is closing on March 2025. But there are initiatives like that showing that the community is participating, their government is working, you see. And there's us. I want to know, because as things stand, the ANC is like that ex that you know cannot do things right, and they leave you, or you dump them because now they didn't get votes in the Western Capeans. It ended up being under the Democratic Alliance, and then you move on to they move on to be in other places, and your KZN, Gauteng, Northern Cape, Northwest, all these areas. And when you look at the places that they've run, they have not changed. If there has been any change at all, they've changed for the worst, because we know that corruption escalated. So if you dumped that person and they come back and you look at their record after they left you and the reasons that you left them for, and you realize that they did not change, in fact, they got worse after you left them, what is the reason for you to go back there until you see that person has self-corrected, has put themselves in order, and they are now attractive because you know the things that they can do? So for me, music and dancing and the slogans and the political gimmicks and all of that is not enough for the Western Cape people to say, oh, ANC, come back. Really. It's something that is so simple. You look at their record, then take your decision. Why did you leave them in the first place? Do you get? So I want to vote for the ANC that is capable, the ANC that I can be proud of. Because if the ANC were to totally collapse, I'll still remain a South African. So my concern has to be about South Africa the most. And I do pray that one of the leaders, maybe some of the leaders of the ANC, can get to see this video and some of the other videos that are like mine, and understand that our criticism towards them is not that of hate, but is of dissatisfaction of the way they've conducted themselves over many years, and how South Africa looks like today in their own hands. We gave them 30 years. You know, they were voted from the beginning. South Africans have given them right from 1994 up to today, and they ended up taking the voters, South African voters, for granted. So this time around, South Africans have become wiser with their votes. They do understand why they are voted. Let me not say South Africans, I say many South Africans understand how their votes should work, and they understand that if you are dissatisfied, you express that with your vote. If you don't believe what I'm saying, ask MK what happened. What happened in Msunduzi? Was it in Msunduzi? Yes. Understand what happened. People took their votes and gave to the ANC because they knew that that's what they could use to punish MK. So we understand the value of our votes now. So what I'm saying is, please please, please, please take us seriously. Take us change. And the change is not going to be verbal. It starts with service delivery. There are so many things that we complain about in South Africa, but they are the top ones that are easily accessible, that the ANC can just grab and do them, and we see that they are serious about us and our votes, because a country that is deteriorating, we feel it more as the citizens of South Africa that do not afford to live in gated communities, who do not afford to live in places whereby when you hear about crime, you're like, oh, is there so much crime in South Africa? Oh, there's poverty. Oh, there's so much poverty in South Africa. We cannot afford that. So what I'm saying in a nutshell, I'm saying we criticize the ANC as the members of the ANC because we want to see change. We want to see change, not verbally, not in actions. You know, umzekelo, that Gauteng is on its knees. It needs somebody to pick it up. And until they do that, and in other provinces, but mainly Gauteng and followed by the Eastern Cape, please, until they do those, until they address such places, address issues in such places, they are not getting my vote. I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, but you see, when you see change, when you see that they're actually doing something continuously and change is evident for anyone to see, until that happens, ain't nobody getting my vote. I'm sorry to say. And if you watched up to here, thank you for watching my videos. This is South Africa Lately, a channel that discusses South African trending news. We do, however, grab here and there from international news when it is trending enough to be brought here. I will see you in my next upload.
Enjoy and feel part of something so much bigger.
The initiative will run every Sunday until March 2025, with organizers hoping visitors will get a chance to experience urban life as it should be: vibrant, open, and alive. For Newsroom Africa, Channel 405, I'm Latasha Naidu, reporting from Cape Town.